No, I'm backlit, so the picture's probably horrible, but I'm here at the TA in Connecticut. I need to have a DOT inspection done because at John's you have to have one every 3 months. So I have 3 marker lights out on my tractor. Everything else is good. As far as I know, I've looked over the truck and the trailer, and they don't have the marker lights that I need. So here I am running around trying to find what I need. Well, there's nothing nearby. I don't have much of a choice, so I'm going to put in 3 LED lights instead of the regular ones. And I don't really care for the way it looks, kind of goofy, mismatched, but I'll show you what I got going on when I get back to the truck. I'm going to try to heat shrink and wrap some of the connections to make them watertight, but I don't have my torch. So I'm going to go buy a lighter. Working on a budget here. It stinks, but you got to make do. So I got a mess going on in the parking lot, but got one of my lights swapped out. It's a whole lot brighter than the others. It really stands out. So you know what that means. Now I'm going to have to upgrade all of them. Ha ha ha. Like I got the money for that. But I just discovered what was wrong with this one. The connector, well actually this end of the connector is really loose, and the wire inside I believe is probably corroded, causing it to not have a good connection. So whenever you wiggle the wire, the light flickers on and off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to take the new pigtail that came with the new light. Well, actually didn't come with it, I had to buy it separate, but it goes with the new light. I'm going to take that and wire it directly up, bypassing the old connection. Alright, so I got the new pigtail wired up, and I have some, as Steve suggested, some heat shrink, which I didn't do a great job with because I don't have my heat torch. So I got that wired up. And I have the other light. I wired it up differently. I put the pigtail on, but I wired it into the old connector because it didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. And if I took the old connector off, then I would have had to splice into these other wires that go up and down the length of the tractor that connect to all the other lights, and that was just more time than I wanted to invest right now. So that works. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take the connector that was already there, and I'm going to take the pigtail for the new light. I'm going to clip the end off, and I'm going to wire it directly into this connector, and then it will just plug into the light. So if I need to swap out my light, it just plugs right in. Alright, number 3 is in. I just gotta put the little trim piece on. Weird, it doesn't fit quite like I expect it to. So anyway, I forgot to tell you something. This panel right here with these lights on it is actually bolted on, and these have screws in the back. I don't know if you noticed, but they look like this. So they have a screw right here that goes through, and it has a nut on the back. So you have to be able to get to the back of these lights to take them off. And the way this thing is, see the light way back down there in that hole? You cannot get to that. You can't even see the screws from here. It's way back in there. You can see the screws way back in there, but you have to take this panel off. So that means unbolting all these bolts that you see on the front. All these bolts have to be undone, and then you take the panel off and you'll have access to the back of these lights. It's more involved than I thought it would be, more time consuming than I thought it would be, But I did save myself a little bit of money. So now I got this mess of wires hanging back here. So I'm going to take some zip ties and tie them up and make them nice and neat. Alright, nice and tidy. And I don't want a lot of stress on the wires, so I left it a little bit loose. So I don't want it to pull on the wires. I had actually some wires that had a lot of tension on them. They were being pulled up really hard with a zip tie, and actually broke the wire off at the back of the light. So that was what was wrong with part of the problem with two of the lights. Oh look, there's another one. That one's gonna have to be replaced pretty soon too. You see the corrosion? Yep. So, good grief. Like I said, it never ends. Oh, what fun. So, learn to work on your own equipment, and you know, the more you learn, the more money you can save. And it is good to be familiar with the equipment that you're driving every day anyways. So, you guys buckle up, stay safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you on the road. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. My name is Cindy, and this is my channel, The Flatbed Chick. Come back and see me.